Someone close to you was telling me that you don't get really impressed by people and you don't get angry. And then the person got emotional saying, if you have Barry as a friend, you only need one friend.
That's nice. You know, yeah, I get impressed by people. You recently interviewed Howard Schultz. I'm really impressed by Howard Schultz. He was my business, I'd say mentor, because vision without execution is hallucination. I think something like that Churchill once said. A lot of us had ideas. Executing the idea and making it a reality is just so incredibly difficult. This guy reinvented coffee. It's like we were drinking coffee before Starbucks came around. He thought he'd triple the price, and then somehow that would work. And it was a good product. It was 360. You had an emotional connection to a cup of coffee with his little emblem. You felt like you were part of a little cult. I thought his execution capability was so good and something I always wanted to mirror in the companies I led. But in my world of consumer stuff where brands are important, I really admire Ralph Lauren. How can you stay relevant for decades with a brand that used to have crushed velvet and velour or whatever that stuff was that we used to wear? I mean, it's amazing. Bernard Arnault today. Like, holy mackerel. Because I worked in France. I bought a conglomerate in France. There is no tougher place in the world to operate a company than France. And there are more communists in France than there are in China. And we had them. The unions fighting with each other. We had the Baccarat. We owned Baccarat, the crystal company. And the factory workers would get into fights with each other. Sometimes the husbands and the wives would stop talking. So the husbands made the glass and the wives packed it. And I get a phone call, like, they're on strike. I'm like, what can we do? Nothing. How do we make them happy? We can't. Like, I'll be charming. I go see them. I go to the factory, which is near Alsace-Lorraine on the French border, and I sit down with the Workers' Council. And I said, what can we do to make your business better? And he says, Monsieur, we are labor. You are management. We do not speak. I'm like, this is going well. So, I mean, I've had my challenges. So when you see execution, and it's Bernard Arnault in France, I mean, we had factories, you know, that were with machines that were 100 years old making glasses. And our product was, these are Baccarat glasses, I mean, very expensive versus Pottery Barn. So how do I command that premium, and how do I build a, I would have loved to held on to Baccarat. I was going to create the house of Baccarat like Hermes. And it just, I'm a real estate guy, and my real estate investors wouldn't appreciate me doing that, but I knew I could do it. And I kept, as you know, I kept the hotel license to do Baccarat hotels, partly because I was going to reinvent Baccarat through the hotels and show that they were relevant to today's lifestyle, which I think we accomplished with the Baccarat in New York.